College. For generations, it's been the golden ticket. Get a degree, get a job, live a better life. But today, a lot's changed. The sticker price for tuition is sky high. Student debt is crushing hopes and dreams. And increasingly, employers don't care if you have a diploma. So let's ask directly, is college still worth it? Let's find out. Historically, college meant higher pay, better jobs, and more stability. And the data backed it up. Over a lifetime, college grads earned significantly more. And that is still true. Degrees opened doors, especially in fields like medicine, law, engineering, and education, where they remain almost mandatory. But in many ways, this has changed. There are many more paths to successful, lucrative careers that now exist. And motivated individuals can create businesses addressing niche or even widespread needs in this digital era that we live in. One often overlooked path is in the trades. The trades, because of this, are now in higher demand than ever, and high demand equals high compensation. Now let's talk college costs, because this is probably the primary concern with college nowadays, right? Tuition is expensive, and that sticker price has exploded over the last 20 to 30 years. However, and I thought this was really interesting, the net price, what students actually pay after things like financial aid, has slightly decreased when adjusted for inflation. That being said, students are graduating with more debt than ever because annual borrowing has increased dramatically, particularly for graduate degrees. About 50% of all students borrow for college, and in 2023, the average borrower graduated with around $27,000 in debt in tough job markets. Especially now in mid-2025, with a massive number of recently terminated federal workers seeking jobs, the market is saturated with experienced candidates, and new graduates may struggle to compete in this kind of environment. Meanwhile, starting salaries for graduates also haven't kept pace. In fact, when adjusted for inflation, starting salaries have been essentially flat for 65 years. So costs have increased, even when adjusted for inflation, but salaries haven't. Students pay more if they don't get financial aid, often earn less, and borrow more. This is a total recipe for financial disaster. So how can you avoid this? Let's look at steps to keep costs down and value high. Many postgraduate financial issues stem from choices made before and during college. Let's be honest, not all degrees are created equal. STEM, finance, legal, medicine, they all tend to pay off more because they are high-income fields. But a degree in something like theater or philosophy, as wonderful as those degrees are, they have lower average salaries. Yet the four-year education costs are essentially the same as the more lucrative fields. So what should you do? Follow your heart or plan your future?
I don't know what I should be doing.
It's about planning strategically. And this is largely informed by my own experience with how education and the lack thereof directly affected my earning potential. If you're investing tens of thousands of dollars in education, you need to know the return on that investment. Now, college is no longer the only path to success. Like I mentioned before, skilled trades are in high demand. Then there are things like boot camps and self-taught skills, coding, design, marketing, video editing. Skills employers often care about more than a GPA. There's so much you can teach yourself. Video, audio, and live event production are what I do for a living. All of it, including the graphic design, desktop publishing, and web design skills that I also have, I learned primarily online through courses or tutorials and through lots of trial and error. Also, we're at the dawn of a new era with AI assistants, which are incredibly useful for coding, automation, learning, idea generation, YouTube channel script writing. Okay, and then there's the entrepreneur path. Highly motivated and constantly self-improving individuals can accomplish incredible things without a college degree. This is definitely a viable path. Now, I think it doesn't come with the same safety rails, but the payoff can be huge.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless.
Here's a common challenge. Many people enter college unsure of their path. That's normal. But remember, college costs money. So be strategic and apply these 3 goals. Goal number 1, college is a time to learn how things work in life. It's more than just the academics of it. It's learning responsibilities, deadlines, teamwork, and balancing priorities. These are essential skills for supporting yourself and perhaps a family after graduation. Goal number 2, build connections and grow your network. Your network is something you can leverage in the future. It's a source of future business opportunities, job connections, and lasting friendships. Don't neglect building your network. And goal number 3, avoid significant debt. If you go to college, goals number 1 and number 2 will happen provided you apply yourself. Goal number 3 is trickier. How can you avoid lots of debt? Everyone should consider these 3 options, especially if you're unsure what you want to do. Option number 1, community college for 1 to 2 years. Get your core credits out of the way while also gaining time to think about and explore different interests. But don't slack, okay? Use these years to focus and develop your future plan, not just to chill and have a good time. Option number 2, state schools for lower tuition. Going to an out-of-state university might sound great, but you have to realize the extra cost of this. In the 2024-2025 school year, the average out-of-state tuition for a 4-year public college was 165% more than in-state tuition, simply due to residency and where you live. Option number 3, financial aid and scholarships. This clearly involves effort to find and apply for these things, but it's free money, and free money means less debt. Now, there are some other options too. Here in the US, gap years aren't as common as in some other countries, but taking some time to figure things out can work to your advantage as long as you have specific action occurring on this time. So here's what happened to me. I chose to only go for 2 years of community college while I was working full-time at the same time. I thought my job was awesome. It wasn't, but I was too naive to see that. So I quit school after 2 years, even though I'd been accepted into several good 4-year universities. I then worked for a decade at very low-paying jobs. And it took all that time for me to finally realize that my salary potential was capped without a degree. So, like, that flipped a switch in my head and I resolved it. I went back to school and finished my bachelor's degree for little to no money thanks to financial aid and scholarships. And this was definitely worth it. I saw an immediate increase in salary and have continued to see that growth since then. However, after a few years of finally making better money, I pursued an MBA. Now, do I think this MBA, which left me with a lot of debt, was worth it? Well, I made 2 critical mistakes. First, I chose an expensive private university for my MBA, even though financial aid is limited for graduate degrees. And second, I failed to maximize my network. After working all day at my job, I'd head straight to my MBA classes in the evening and then straight home after that to see my 3 young kids before bed. And while I don't regret that choice, it meant I built only a few weak connections in my classes. And I missed out on the huge value of a graduate degree, networking. If I had to do it over, I'd likely skip the MBA and focus on increasing my skills through free self-study or online courses, or perhaps a more targeted, less expensive degree. Here's my conclusion. College isn't the only way up, but it can still be a good one if you use it wisely. But you have to ask yourself the hard questions. Can I pursue this affordably and set myself up for the future? Is going to a specific school really worth the extra cost? You then have to run the numbers. What is the projected ROI on your investment? Then you need to choose a path on purpose. Be intentional, but remain flexible. Changing your major isn't a huge issue, but manage the financial impact that could come with that. So again, is college still worth it? I believe for the majority of jobs, yes, it is. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to hit like, and if you want more, subscribing would be awesome. Thanks for getting good enough with me. I'll see you next time.